I'm Jeff Camara. I'm from Easton, Massachusetts, fighting out of Muscle and Flow in Milton. I'm fighting for Jen and my father.
Hi there, I'm Adam Carrero here for ECAT, and today we are going to be talking about a special event to help fight against cancer. Later next month in Boston, there'll be the Haymakers for Hope. It's an annual event that helps raise money to help awareness to fight against cancer, and this event will have a local tie. Here with me is Jeff Camara. He will be fighting in the Haymakers event this year. Jeff, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Kind of explain why you're participating in this event.
Yeah, it's a great question. So I work out at the gym, Muscle and Flow in Milton. And one of the girls was doing the Haymakers for Hope. They call it like the bell of the ball. So she was training at the gym and we're all kind of chatting. She goes, Jeff, you should sign up. And I said, all right, let me give it some thought. And I did, and I put my name in. And the reason for my fight was that when I was like 24 years old, 2 weeks before I got married, my wife got diagnosed with cancer. So we kind of had a scare, which unfortunately Jen lost her battle to the disease. And I said, this might be a good way to kind of pay some respect to her, kind of get back in there and, raise some money for this. And luckily I'm able to have the money donated directly to Dana-Farber and to the team that helped her during her journey. So I thought, it seemed like maybe it was a bit of a sign, at the gym working out, and one of the girls is fighting the cancer and says, Jeff, you should put your name in. I think it'd be a good experience for you. And I put my name in thinking, we'll see what happens. And sure enough, January I got an email saying, hey, Jeff, you've been selected. So, get ready to fight on May 8th.
And how long have you been boxing?
So it's funny, off and on, probably a better part of like 10 years. It was kind of heavy in the beginning, and then, life gets in the way, kids and that type of stuff, and you tend to take a bit of a break. And probably the last like year and a half or so, I've been, putting some time in at the gym and in boxing. And then once I got selected for the fight, I'm now training, the boxing aspect, 3 to 4 days a week at a minimum.
And now they haven't announced who you're fighting, but you know who you're fighting. It's kind of luck of the draw, you were kind of telling me,
yeah,
of everybody that participates.
Exactly. So there's 28 guys that are going to fight on May 8th. They try to put you against somebody who's kind of same age, around the same height, same weight. So they do a good job. We did have a media day, which we sparred the person that we probably will fight on May 8th, but they always say, there's always an asterisk saying, we could change depending on, whatever happens. Sometimes fighters drop out, so you kind of get somebody who's all in, and something happens, they say, hey, I can't make the event, so, I could be ready to be fighting this person, and for some reason they can't show up, and somebody else gets pulled in, and you have a whole new opponent.
And now, do you have a certain goal that you're trying to hit money-wise for the donations?
I did. So my goal was $10,000. Luckily, we've already surpassed that. We're at almost $21,000 right now. It was, we kind of, once I got picked and they made it official, they gave us a date, say, hey, you can put stuff online starting this day. So day one, I put it up. We got like $5,000 or $6,000 donations pretty quick. And then a bunch of people I do business with donated, a bunch of family and friends. A couple of weekends ago, I did a 90s 2000 hip hop party night, which was $40 at the door. We fed you dinner, cash bar. We had a slew of raffle items. The best one was probably a Mike Tyson glove. We raffled off an autographed Mike Tyson glove. And we made about $6,000 at that event. So when it's all said and done, with ticket sales, I'm almost $21,000 right now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And if people watching this want to help you out and donate, what is the best way to do that?
Yeah, so a few ways. If they go to the Haymakers for Hope website and you kind of go to browse events, you want to find the fight on May 8th, and then if you scroll down, you'll see my name there, Jeffrey Camara. You can donate to the fighter, and then from there you can make a donation to the program. It is everything that we collect on donations goes directly to cancer research. So kind of whatever you give, whether it's $20, $200, all that money will go directly to Dana-Farber.
And are you looking really just to, out of this event, really just the participation in raising the money, or are you really going in there to get the win? Yeah,
I mean, it's a fight, right? Yeah. So, I tell people it's a fight, it's, I think out of the 28 guys there, everybody wants to win, right? It's one of those things, everybody shows up, they're training, putting the work in. End of the day, the most important thing is that we're raising money for cancer research, right? I think as a group right now, we're about $600,000 that we've raised. And that's the biggest win, right? So right there, that's a win. But there's no doubt, like when I get in the ring against that guy, he's going to try to, knock my head off, I'm gonna try to do the same thing to him. So it's a battle, you know. I mean, it's sanctioned by U.S. boxing, you know. So you know, there's, you know, it's not kind of set up in a backyard with a ring. I mean, this is the real deal. I mean, you got your cornermen, you got your trainers. They make a big deal out of it. So they want to keep you safe. That's their goal, right? So everybody's wearing headgear. That's mandatory. We're gonna fight with 16-ounce gloves. So they do everything they can to protect you, but you know, if you're bored and you go on YouTube and watch some of the videos, you'll see there's some guys there that are, you know, they leave busted up a little bit. You know, it's a fight end of the day. You know, as much as it's for charity and to raise money, I think once that bell rings, it's, you know, it's 6 minutes of war.
And with your training group, how long have you been working with them?
So I train with a couple guys at the gym, Bruno and Edwin. Bruno and I we've been friends for a better part of like 10 years at this point. So him and I have trained a lot on and off. Edwin and I kind of really picked up in January working. So Edwin's kind of like, he's really good on footwork. So him and I get together, we work on our footwork, our stancing, moving correctly, kind of, you know, cutting off the ring. Bruno's more kind of the bruiser, you know, so he's kind of the guy that, you know, gets me in the corners, you know, throwing the bomb, so to say, and kind of getting in and getting out. So with those two guys, you know, it's been Bruno about 10 years and Edwin since January.
And what's your fighting style, your boxing style?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I'm definitely I'm the kind of guy that usually lets the fight come to me a little bit. You know, it's you know, I'm not a guy that kind of run at you wild and kind of unload. I kind of tend to kind of, you know, get in there, you know, kind of work the jab a little bit, you know, kind of see what he's going to bring to the table, and then work off of that. You know, I think that's my style would be, you know, a little more, you know, it's not reactive, but I'm not a guy that's going to bull rush you. A lot of guys kind of run at you 100 miles an hour and they just want to hit you. My thought is get in here, let's kind of see what it looks like, see what he's going to allow me to do. You know, wait for a mistake to happen and then kind of pounce, as they say, and you know, kind of work your magic then.
And this is really for a fundraising event, but would this lead anywhere else for your boxing career after this?
It's funny. I get people ask me all the time. I'm 46 years old, right? So it's, you know, there's going to be no professional boxing career for Jeff Camara, but, you know, I never say the word never. So I would definitely help out somebody. If somebody's boxing, they need to spar, I'd be more than happy to kind of jump in a ring with somebody and, you know, do some work. If the Haymakers for Hope had another event and somebody dropped out and they called me and said, hey, Jeff, we could really use somebody in your weight class to come in and fight. Are you interested? I think I would, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's not something that I'm going to pursue professionally because, you know, it's
late in the game.
Yeah, it's a little late in the game at 46, right? I don't want to be that guy. But I think, you know, definitely something I enjoy. I've always enjoyed it. It's a great workout, right? I mean, and the one thing I've kind of learned with like this whole thing is everyone thinks that boxing's a lonely sport, right? Like you're by yourself. And you are in the ring, right? It's you versus somebody else. But, you know, the friendships you make in that ring are pretty great. I mean, even at the event, we did our media day back in March, and we're all hanging out down there. Like now we're all friends on social media. We all text with each other, kind of see how things are going. We all support each other. So as much as, you know, it is a kind of one-on-one sport, you really do build some great friendships. And I mean, with the trainers and even people at the gym help me out. You know, they know that I'm fighting, so they'll come down and they'll spar with me on Fridays, because usually Friday is my sparring day. So I'll get 3 or 4 guys down there. You know, we do a couple of rounds, so I'll get a little bit of work in. So it really is. It's a sport that I think a lot of people think of like you're by yourself, right? You're kind of on an island, but you're not. I mean, you really have this great community of people that support you and want to, you know, see you succeed.
Yeah, and the boxing culture is pretty big because we're right next to Brockton, who's famous for boxers, and Boston too, the culture there. So it's not a well-known sport as it was back in the day, but I think the culture is still there for boxing. Yeah,
it's a good group of people. You know, I've yet to meet somebody I don't like in boxing. Like everybody's kind of been real friendly, and everybody kind of they want to help you, kind of make you better, which is impressive. I have one of the guys in my gym is a professional fighter, and you know he's amazing, and he gives me tips, and him and I are going to spar before the fight to kind of go over a few things. So, you know, just somebody who's a professional who's literally saying, hey, Jeff, I'll give you some of my time because what you're doing is amazing and it's for a great cause. And if I can help you, I want to help you, where I'm not sure you'll get that with, you know, other professional athletes. They may say, I'm too busy to come and help you. You know, I gotta focus on myself.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested to go to the event, it's at the MGM at Fenway on May 8th, Thursday. The doors open at 6:30. Boxing matches start at 7:30. You don't know what time you're fighting yet, the night you...
I don't. It's funny, we were joking about that earlier. I said, you know, so there's 14 fights. Last fight's over by 11.
Okay.
I'm hoping I'm not the last fight, you know, but it is what it is, right? It's in the cards. You know, if I take educated guess, I'm they're probably going to do it based on like donations, kind of who raised the most might be able to decide where they're at.
Gotcha.
So if that's the case, at least we're in the top third right now. So it gives us a chance to hopefully get on. You know, a little. I'm not sure I want to be first again. You know, I was first in my sparring day, and
Yeah.
that was a little much. You know, second or third would be great. You know.
But yeah, but if you want to go and cheer on Jeff at the event, you can look for the Haymakers Hopes website, which we'll have on the screen. You can purchase tickets. You can find Jeff's page and donate for it, and cheer on an Eastonite fighting for a great cause. So thank you, Jeff, for
thank you.
coming here, and good luck on your match.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. Have a nice day, folks.
Together, we can knock out cancer. Come watch us fight on May 8th at the MGM Music Hall.